Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here from Pickdawgz.com, bringing y'all my NBA Jam session on March 17th. St. Patrick's Day, man. We're trying to get a little lucky, man. It really ain't luck, because we do put the work in for this, man. But as we know, man, you need a little luck sometimes with sports handicapping, man. So let's try to get a little of that on a huge card Friday. We got a lot of NCAA action, man. We had a nice day in that yesterday. Nice odds card in the NBA as well, man. Y'all know what to do, man. Smash that like button for your guy, man. Subscribe if you're new, and drop your like down in the comments, man, as I do love going through, seeing who y'all like as well. My best bets can be found in that link in the description. It takes you right to my Handicapper page, and that's where you can find my long-term packages, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, monthly, yearly, seasonal. You can also find my $15 NBA Jam session play there, man, which we did drop yesterday. Hate to see that, man. We went 4-1, and the best bet, of course, was the only one not to go through. That is super annoying, but it happened, man. We'll bounce back on the $15 play today, man. You can scoop it up, Pickdawgz Premium. But, again, the best thing to do, man, hop on a long-term package. Hop on the 3-day package today. You get all my plays Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We've been heating up over the weekends over the last month or so. We're in the middle of a really great week, man. We're going to try to keep all the momentum rolling forward, man. Follow me on Twitter, @ParlayGuyJ. And check out my live show, as I am live right here on the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern, as I run through the card one more time, man. I usually bring on a guest as well. That show allows us to update y'all on late injury news and late information coming out of the association, man. We usually drop a free parlay at the end as well. Cashed out on it yesterday, me and my guy Al Ninos. It was a 2-teamer, kind of grew to a 3-teamer if you added that Texas on there. So, nice little payout, man. Come join us on that live show, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern, every evening, man. Hey, we got a nice size card on a Friday. I know we're going to try to smash it, per usual. Let's make some money tonight, man. And without further ado, let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. In our first matchup of the night, man, we got the Philadelphia 76ers. They're out on the road facing the Charlotte Hornets. Philly's laying 10 on the road, man, total 226. We know Philadelphia's in that mode right now, man. They've now won, 6 straight basketball games. Just beat up on the Cavs out on the road in their last one. They're playing really great basketball right now, are the Sixers. But kind of the same thing I said about, Milwaukee yesterday. What's the motivational factor to come in here and blow this Hornets team out by 10 today? Do they win the game? For sure. Do they win it probably pretty convincingly, 7 to 8 points? Probably. Do I want to be laying 10, though, on a Friday night with a team that has no extra motivational factor to blow out a team? I don't. Could they blow out this team? For sure. Of course they can blow out this Charlotte Hornets team, man. But the Hornets, off 3 straight home losses, man, I kind of lean them to keep this one scrappy tonight. I lean them plus the 10. It's not my favorite game on the board. Fading Philadelphia right now is not really somewhere I want to be. But I do lean the Hornets in this first matchup of the day. I do think they can keep this one competitive. I know they just got beat pretty handedly in back-to-back games at home by Cleveland, 120-104 and 114-108. And the Jazz got them as well, 119-111. But I don't know. I got a gut feeling about the Hornets keeping this one close. Am I betting it personally? Probably not. I'm going to be honest with y'all. But I talk about every game, every day. And I am kind of leaning Hornets plus the 10 in this one. Philadelphia, I think we're looking at a 7-8 point win for the Sixers. Lean Hornets plus the 10 in our first matchup of the night. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Golden State Warriors out on the road facing the Atlanta Hawks, man. Hawks laying 2.5, total 248.5. The burning question in this basketball game is what's up with Golden State? Does the road woes continue? And that's what I'm going to say. It's going to come to an end soon. I think they're going to start to win some road games. But do I want to bet that it happens? I don't, man. I got to go with what I know. And I know we have faded the Warriors on the road all season, and we're going to continue to do so. I know the Hawks haven't been playing well either. They've only won 2 of their last 5 as well. Both of those were out on the road against Washington, 114-107 and 122-120. Their last 2 home games, they just lost to Boston, 134-125, and got hammered in their last one, embarrassed by the Minnesota Timberwolves, 136-115. But I still can't get out of my mind the Golden State Warriors, the worst road ATS team in the league at 8-25 against the spread, have only covered in 24.2% of their road games, and they're also one of the absolute worst road teams in the entire NBA as the Warriors are 6-27. I think it's 7-27 on the road. But my model has that San Antonio game not on the road, not on here because it was like in a neutral site, even though it was San Antonio. Anyways, 7-27 on the road are the Golden State Warriors, man. I just can't bet them to do it, bro. This is the most night and day team I've ever seen. We've been on it all season. It's hard to want to get off it now. The Hawks, this is their third straight home game, a team that's fighting for playoff positioning in their own right. They're now one game under 500. I do think they show up today on their home floor and get back to 500. Golden State, until they show me on the road that they can do it, man, I don't want to bet that they can. They're going to wake up soon. Let's see. Before we get out of here, let's just look at their schedule. Let's see. Do they get a road win? I don't think they get it today. They play tomorrow. They get it tomorrow. They win back-to-back road games. I'm calling it. They go. They lose tonight to Atlanta. Atlanta wins and covers. Then tomorrow, they go beat the Grizzlies in Memphis. And then they turn around and go beat Houston in Houston. That's how I think it goes, man. They finally end some of their road woes. Not tonight, though. I think the Hawks, the more desperate team, kind of, because the Warriors are pretty desperate, too. But I do think the Hawks pull this one out on their home floor. I don't see them losing 3 straight at home. It's a 50-50 game, tightly contested game. Can't trust the Warriors on the road. Think they get back on track maybe tomorrow. I don't like the spot today. I'm taking the Hawks. Laying the 2.5. Hearing this. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Washington Wizards out on the road facing the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland laying 6, total 220.5. For me in this one, I lean in Cleveland. Y'all know I always lean Cleveland on their home floor as they go stupid, dummy, crazy. They're at home, man, and it's not like this Wizards team has showed me anything that will want me to look in their direction, man. I do think Cleveland bounces back at home off that loss to Philadelphia, man. They lost that one 118-109. That was their last game out. They were on a long road trip before that. They looked good on that road trip. I expect them to bounce back today at home where they've been dominant all season. Cleveland, 28-8 straight up at home this season. ATS, let's see, they are tied for third best ATS team in the NBA right now with Philadelphia at 22-13-1, have covered in 62.9% of their games. I have not liked what I've seen from Washington. Let's call a spade a spade. Washington has only won 2 of their last 5, and those 2 wins came against the Detroit Pistons. 117-97, they did hammer them, but the first one was fairly close, and that was on the road, 119-117. They lost back-to-back home games to the Hawks, 114-107, 122-120. Got hammered on the road by Philadelphia, 112-93. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens tonight in this one as well. Cleveland is up in the season series 2-0 as Cleveland beat them by 10 in the first meeting way early in the beginning of the season on the 23rd of October. And they hammered them more recently on the 6th of February in Washington, 114-91. No Jared Allen tonight for the Cleveland Cavaliers, but still think they have enough offensive firepower. And Evan Mobley still down there as well. I like Cleveland to bounce back on their home floor tonight. Don't like what I've seen from Washington, man. They are still in that last spot in the Eastern Conference. I don't know if they hold on to it, if I'm going to be honest, man. I have not liked what I've seen from them. Lean Cavs at home, where they have played their best basketball all season. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got... What am I supposed to do here, man? We got the House of Disappointment and the most inconsistent team in the NBA, man. We got the Bulls laying 2.5 at home over the Minnesota Timberwolves, total 224.5. Y'all know I don't like either one of these two teams. I will say, though, we have been making money kind of betting these Timberwolves lately, and I'm going back to them as I do think they beat this Bulls team today, man. I told y'all, I'm sticking to it. I'm looking to fade this Bulls team the remainder of the season. I said that moment 1 coming out of the break. I haven't altered. I'm still looking to fade these guys, man, coming out of the break. Wolves, they didn't win their last one against Boston. They did catch us the cover, though. Love to see that, man. Beat the Hawks handedly in that one, 136-115. They did beat up on this Bulls team in the long meeting this season on the 18th of December, 150-126. The Chicago Bulls, they did try to fight at home against Sacramento. It just didn't happen. 117-114 loss for them. They beat up on the Rockets before that, beat up on the Denver Nuggets too. That was the most surprising win probably all season from the Bulls. But, the 2 home games before that, they lost to Indiana, lost to Phoenix. They've lost their last 3 home games. It looks like they've been playing better out on the road. I'm taking the Wolves here, the house of disappointment. Hopefully they don't disappoint me. We've been doing fairly good with the Timberwolves lately, man. I do kind of like the way that some of these guys are playing. The injury report is kind of bad for them, though. Still no Towns. We know that. He's been out. Rudy Gobert, doubtful. Naz Reid, doubtful. Austin Rivers, doubtful. And Jalen Noel, out. Alex Caruso, doubtful for the Bulls. Javonte Green, doubtful as well. So I'm leaning T-Wolves, man, continuing to try to fade the Chicago Bulls team. I know they're the house of disappointment, man, but they haven't been as disappointing lately. We've been kind of making some money recently on them. I'm going to give them another chance here. Timberwolves plus the 2.5. Timberwolves money line for me here in this one. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the New Orleans Pelicans out on the road facing the Houston Rockets, man. Pelicans, road favorites, laying 5.5, total 231. The Rockets, hey, they've looked good, man. They won back-to-back games over the Celtics and the Lakers. Nice wins right there for the Rockets, man. The Pelicans, tonight is do or die, though. These next 2 games are, because they will play this Rockets team again in the next 2 days. They have to have both of these if they want to make the play-in tournament, man. They currently are 12th in a tightly contested Western Conference at 33-36. The 10th spot, the Oklahoma City Thunder at 34-36, and the Lakers at 34-36. The Mavs at 35-35, and Minnesota at 35-35. They're not out of it, but they're damn near out of it, man. Like, they have to have this one and the next one to keep pace. They have to have both. And for that reason, I do lean them in this spot, man. I think they're just a more desperate team. The Rockets got their 2 wins out their system. I think they're about to go back in full-blown tank mode. It's just how I see it. Could they come out here and keep this game competitive? Of course. The Pelicans have not been playing great basketball, man. But it's now or never. Like, this is a playoff game against one of the worst teams in the NBA for the New Orleans Pelicans. If you want to make the play in the playoffs, you have to go on the road and beat up on this Rockets team. And I think that's exactly what they do. I lean them in this spot. They did beat up on this Rockets team in both meetings this season. The first meeting was 119-106 in New Orleans on the 12th of November, and they beat up on them in the last one as well, 119-108 on the 4th of January. Both games were in New Orleans. Like I said, they played each other in a back-to-back, in a home-and-home situation, my fault. They play tonight, and then they play again on Sunday. So I lean Pelicans in this one. They have to have this game to keep it competitive. Pelicans, man, show up, beat up on this Rockets team tonight. Still the Rockets. I know they've looked good in back-to-back games, but still the Rockets. I lean Pelicans in a must-win here in this. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Memphis Grizzlies out on the road facing the San Antonio Spurs. Memphis, road favorites, laying 8, total 233.5. Memphis, we know they are terrible out on the road, man. They are hot garbage out there, man. They just got hammered in their last one on the road by the Miami Heat, 138-119. I took the Heat at home in that game. Can you believe it? I can't. I still can't believe it, man. But I did like the Heat a lot in that spot, man. The Grizzlies are just terrible out on the road. We have faded them a lot out there, man. At home, we know they go stupid, dummy, crazy. But on the road, I have not liked what I've seen from them. They did beat my Mavs out there. Playing a G League squad. We didn't have Kyrie nor Luka, so we had a lot of young guys in that game. So I don't really put too much emphasis on that one. This is what I think about this game. I think the Spurs can keep this game competitive. I'm going to grab them plus the 8. Continuing to fade the Grizzlies out on the road where they've been terrible. I think they've only won 2 of their last 13 road games. It's pretty bad. Like, they're bad out there. The Spurs have kept it competitive with the Grizzlies in all 3 meetings this season. 124-122 was the first meeting on the 9th of November in San Antonio. So a 2-point win for the Grizzlies. That game went to overtime as well. So super competitive game from the Spurs in that one. The second meeting was in Memphis, with Memphis winning that game 121 to 113 on the 9th of January. An 8-point win for Memphis in that one. The line for that game was Memphis minus 11, so Spurs covered that line out on the road. And the last meeting was 135-129 on the 11th of January, so it was a home-and-home situation. Memphis was laying 13 in that one. Spurs covered in that one as well. The fourth and final meeting, I think the Spurs go 4-0 ATS against this Grizzlies team. I think the Grizzlies are about to go through a little tough stretch because I told y'all earlier we talked about the Golden State Warriors. They're on the front end of a back-to-back, man. They do play them Warriors tomorrow. And I think they lose that one, man. I think they barely escape tonight by these Spurs. Go home where they go stupid, dummy, crazy, where the Warriors have been terrible all season. I think the Warriors beat them straight up tomorrow. That's how I see it. We'll see if it comes to fruition, but continuing to fade them tonight as they've been terrible out on the road all season. The Spurs, they've kept it scrappy with these guys all season as well. Have covered all three meetings. They did push the Mavs to overtime in their last one, 137-128. Did not cover, but it was a super tight game. Beat the mess out of the Orlando Magic, 132-114. Man, also beat the Nuggets at home, 128-120 in this stretch. I'm leaning Spurs, man. I think they can keep it competitive for the fourth and final time this season, continuing to fade the Grizzlies out on the road. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Boston Celtics out on the road facing the Portland Trail Blazers. Boston laying 4, total 230.5. Interesting one here, man. The Celtics did win their last game, failed to cover against the Minnesota Timberwolves, 104-102 out on the road. They lost to the Houston Rockets out on the road, man. Really good win for the Rockets, man. 111-109 was the final score in that one. This is going to be the Celtics' fourth straight road game, fifth road game in their last 6 games. Not really the best spot. Portland has been terrible recently, man, with their season on the line as well, man. They've now lost 4 straight games, been hammered in back-to-back games. The Knicks got them in their own building, 123-107. The Pelicans beat them pretty handedly as well, 127-120. They tried to beat the Sixers. They were winning majority of the way through, and Embiid just wanted a little more. Came through and got that one in the end, 120-119. And then the Celtics, they did just hammer this team really recently, man, last week. 115-93 on the 8th of March. I lean Celtics in this one, man. I'm going to be honest. I do lean Celtics here tonight. I don't think this Blazers team seems very interested. Their season's over with, man. Like I said earlier, I think the 10 teams currently in the play-in tournament are the 10 teams that make it. I think the Blazers are pretty much done. The Pels could get in possibly, but I think they're done. I don't think the Jazz have it in them either. I like the 10 that are currently in there to make it. Portland 7 games under 500, man. I would safe to say it's over. Could they win this one tonight? Possibly. I do see Robert Williams out tonight. Jason Tatum, questionable. Possibly won't play tonight, Jason Tatum. But even if he doesn't play, I still like the Celtics. No Peyton Pritchard either. I'm seeing Damian Lillard on this injury report is questionable as well, and Jeremy Grant. I'm leaning Celtics in this one, man. I know they haven't covered in back-to-back games, and they just recently lost to the Rockets, but this Portland Trail Blazers team, man, their season's pretty much over. I don't like what I've seen from them recently, man. I think they lose their 5th straight. Like Boston to get right on the road, man. I'll lay the 4 points with them here in this. In our last and final matchup of the night, man, we got my favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks, man. We're out on the road facing the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers, home favorites, laying 5, total 223. My Mavs, man, are really, really, really banged up right now, man. It's kind of unfortunate, really, as no Luka Doncic again tonight. LD will not play. Kyrie Irving is also looking doubtful to play tonight. And JaVale McGee doubtful, Markieff Morris doubtful, and it's looking like Tim Hardaway Jr., who is questionable, could play, but what I've been hearing, I don't think he plays tonight either. All that said, man, looks like Anthony Davis will play tonight. It pains me to do it, man, but take the Lakers. I'm going to lay the 5, man. I don't like the spot for my Mavs, man. The Mavs. That's what I was saying about them. That's what I was saying. That's what I say. I thought about it. I'm not really that worried. I'm not. This is best case scenario. Best case scenario, my Mavs get that 7th seed, and I promise you we're going to beat Memphis round 1. Or sack. I really firmly believe that. We can beat Sacramento or Memphis in a 7-game series. So I kind of get the notion. We're going to have to probably go through the play-in to do it, but we're going to beat the Thunder, or we're going to beat whoever it's going to be. It might end up being the Lakers, but I think they might climb out of it. We'll see who it is, man. But all that said, it's not the end of the world for my Mavs right now. We're just banged up. I'd rather us take the time to properly get healthy to make the playoff run than to rush our guys out there trying to get some playoff seeding that, for us, in the grand scheme of things, probably won't mean that much, man. I think the Mavs feel pretty comfortable about any playoff series they would go in against anybody other than, I would probably say, the Nuggets and probably Phoenix. Anybody else? I have no fear in the Western Conference, man, and I think that's probably the approach my Mavs are taking. So tonight, can the Lakers, the team that needs this game a little more, win this basketball game and cover this line at home against one of the worst cover teams in the NBA? I think so, man. Fading my favorite team, fading the Mavs, man. Taking the Lake Show. I've been on the Lake Show a lot here recently, man. I told y'all coming out of the break I thought they were going to improve their seeding, man. And y'all know I love me some LeBron, man. Can't wait till he get back. This Lakers team, they're going to be a dark horse as well going into the playoffs. Same thing I said about the Mavs. I think the Lakers are going to feel pretty good in a 7-game series against, say they're that 8th seed. I mean, they got Anthony Davis to match up with Jokic, and LeBron. They match up pretty well with Memphis. They match up pretty well with Sacramento. So it's going to be a great playoffs, man. I can't wait for it. I like the Lakers tonight, though, over my Mavs, man. They needed a little more on their home floor. My Mavs looks like nobody's playing. Hard to want to take them in this spot. Lakers laying the 5 here in our last and final matchup of the night. And that's going to conclude today's episode on the Jam Session on March 17th. 2023, man. Thank y'all for watching. Smash that like button for your guy, man. Subscribe if you're new, and drop your like down in the comments. As you know, I love going through, seeing who y'all like. My best bets can be found over at Pickdawgz Premium. Just click that link in the description, man. It takes you right to my Handicapper page. That's where you can find my long-term packages, man. 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, monthly, yearly, seasonal. You can find all my bets for today's action, man. College hoops, man. We had a nice day in college hoops yesterday, man. Want to keep that momentum rolling forward. NBA for sure. I should have went bigger in the NBA yesterday. I only put in one play premium-wise and then went 4-1. And the one I put in was the Thunder, and they didn't cover. Happens, man. Went 4-1 yesterday, and the Thunder Buddies was the one that let me down. Our favorite money-making team. Happens, though. It's still a good day overall in the NBA, man. We'll bounce back today. So you can scoop up that $15 NBA Jam Session play, link in the description. Or you can, like I said, scoop up a long-term package, man. That's the best thing to do. Running pretty hot right now, man. Trying to keep the momentum rolling forward. Follow me on Twitter, Parlay Guy J, man. And check me out on my live show. I will be back this evening, man, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern, as I run through the card one more time. Should bring a guest on the show as we run through the card, talk about it a little more, update y'all on late injury news and information coming out of the association, man. And we also drop a free parlay at the end. If I'm not mistaken, I think me and Al Ninos hit the parlay yesterday. I think we did. We did hit the parlay yesterday. I think that's like 3 this week. We've actually been pretty hot on them parlays, man. So check out our live show, man. Come check me out, man, as I run through the card one more time. Hey, let's make some money today on a Friday. A lot of college hoops, a lot of NBA today too, man. Plenty of spots to attack. Do just that. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs, man. I'll see y'all later on today. Let's make some money today, and I'm out of here. Peace.